EGM Network.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Whatever with Lou Navarro. First and foremost, I want to send positive energy to everyone still working to rebuild after the devastation we have with Hurricane Milton 2 weeks ago. I know many of us or many people still need help, so I encourage the community to keep helping and supporting and lending a hand to your neighbors. I'm Lou Navarro, your host. I am a realtor with Remax Crown Realty, and you can follow me on my social media as Lou Navarro, the realtor, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So buying a home can feel overwhelming, but trust us, it's a worth journey. From securing a loan to finding the right home, getting an appraisal, and making it to the closing table, every step matters. And one of the most crucial steps is a home inspection. It's the key to making sure that the dream home you are buying is everything you want it to be. And yet, often one of the most misunderstood steps in the process. When you are buying a home, whether it's your first time or you have been down this road before, the last thing you want is to move and discover a bunch of stuff, a bunch of hidden issues. So are you confused about the home inspection process? When purchasing a home inspection is an essential process to verify the conditions of the property you're about to buy. Many people, especially first-time buyers, feel overwhelmed by the number of steps, including in the transaction. However, a home inspection is a critical step that should always be taken seriously, and it should never, ever be skipped, even in cash transactions. So why you should hire a certified home inspector? They offer a professional, unbiased opinion. Their job isn't to make or break the deal, but to provide an honest evaluation of the property. And the home inspection usually happen between 1 to 14 days after you have signed a purchase agreement. So on today's podcast, we will be discussing all the details of what a home inspection entails with our guests, the owners of and home inspectors of Paragon Home Inspections. And a home inspection or a home inspector will evaluate the physical structure as well as the home systems, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. So let's welcome Jean and DeAnna Tillis.
Good morning, Lou.
Hey there, good morning.
They are the owners and certified home inspectors of Paragon Home Inspection. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves and how did you get into home inspection? How long have you been doing this?
Well, we've been doing this about 7 years now, and it was kind of I probably went through a process like most people do, which is straight out of high school, right into the military, right into college, still didn't know what I wanted to do, and I just found that I was good with my hands and I enjoyed working outside, and so for several years, that's what I did, remodeling, plumbing, electrical, building, to the point that I was kind of tired of wearing a tool belt. And, DeAnna and our children, they worked with me on our job sites for years and years. So,
Okay.
we've all had some really good hands-on experience. And this kind of just was a nice transition.
Okay.
Going from the trades right into something that we could really, utilize.
You saw an opportunity there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
It was a natural transition.
Oh.
Having that background, kind of feels like we have a little more insight when we're moving into a home, looking into a home. we can kind of visualize what might be behind a wall when we see issues, things like that.
Yeah.
You're like the camera.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
X-rays. So what does a standard home inspection include?
During the process, you mean?
Yes.
What is a home inspection?
So what I want to, provide to the audience is, the process of home inspection. A lot of first-time buyers, they don't realize what it is.
Yeah.
And they are so confused about it,
Right.
So,
So first and foremost, I'll backtrack a little bit. You're absolutely right. It's an emotional ride, for people that are, especially first-time homeowners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The excitement, the anticipation, the nervousness,
anxiety.
am I making the right decision? So having a great realtor, having a great inspection team, it all kind of works hand in hand to, kind of ease the process, if you will. And so that being said, you're also right. We're not there to make or break the deal. We're there to tell you what it is that you're about to purchase or not purchase. It's completely up to you. It goes either way.
Yeah.
Right.
So we try to take a common sense approach to it and just really go through the house. We like to tell all of our clients, it's roof to foundation. It's everything in between. We can reach it, see it, touch it. We're inspecting it. It's one of those things that it's an extremely vital, in my opinion, to have somebody who does this every day, all day.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
We've
of
had a lot
course.
of people say, well, I'm going to inspect it myself. Well, that's great,
Right.
Yeah.
But, with seasoned home inspectors, our eyes kind of automatically go to places that you wouldn't normally see necessarily.
Right.
The electricals or
And I
the
can tell you,
conduits.
exactly. And I can tell you, for us, it makes it hard to go to any restaurant because our eyes are.
Are constantly looking at the ceilings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you also do commercial? No.
We do some commercial. Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. We've done a few places here in town. Absolutely.
What you meant was when you were having dinner, you go to the restaurant and just look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It certainly is. It makes it a different way of looking at the world.
Right.
Becoming a home inspector.
So how long does an inspection take?
So depending, Gene and I, we work as a team, and so we divide and conquer, if you will. And so for us, an average, say, 1,800 square foot home will run us about an hour and a half.
Okay.
If you do have a inspector that you hire that is just solo, you might expect about 3 hours, and you want him to take his time. You want him to take their time and go through everything. And it's very important, even from step one, when your realtor says, hey, here's a list of inspectors, feel free to call some, and absolutely give them a call. I know that a lot of people don't have a whole lot of time, but it's important for you to speak with them and ask questions. What's your background? What got you into this industry? What kind of equipment do you use? There's just a lot of questions you can ask to feel comfortable even before you hire them.
All right. And then, what are the type of inspections you do when you go to a home?
Well, we do the full home inspection, roof to foundation, like we mentioned earlier.
Okay.
We also do insurance reports, insurance inspections that are required on certain homes. For example, for discounts on homes here in Florida, wind mitigations. We're trying to get as many of the 7 possible discounts as we can for you to make that insurance a little more affordable.
Right.
Homes that are 20 years and older, just depending on the insurance company, you might need a what's called a 4-point, which I kind of like to describe it as kind of a watered down home inspection. It's just giving the insurance company enough information to bind coverage.
But that is also covered, that is part of your general inspection. The thing is that it will be a different if it's...
Different report.
Yes,
Correct.
exactly.
Right.
It's a separate report because you don't really want to send the full home inspection to your insurance company.
Okay.
And we also provide septic inspections, termite inspections, mold inspections, but we don't do that ourselves.
Okay.
We decided years ago that we don't want to get certified into doing those different inspections because we feel as though, number one, 2 sets of eyes is better than 1.
That's right.
And number 2, if I'm going to have a termite inspector, for example, I want a termite inspector that does it all day, every day.
That's all
you
they
want
do.
somebody that is specialized on that matter.
Right. Exactly.
And there are a lot of home inspectors who do all of that themselves, which is perfectly fine. That's just what makes us comfortable.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many inspections are required in a home inspection?
So as far as required, it depends a lot of times on the type of mortgage that you're getting. For instance, as it sits right now, VA loans do require you to get a WDO, wood destroying organism inspection. A lot of people think of it as a termite inspection. If you're going to have insurance, then you're going to want that wind mitigation. And most companies won't even quote you until they have that wind mitigation, because that's what lets them know what discounts you're eligible for. And then again, on homes that are, again, typically 20 years and older, but not necessarily, that 4-point for your insurance is also. As far as your septic, your WDO, if you're not going VA, then it's still something we highly recommend for the cost of it compared to what they could find and what it could cost you if you don't find out before you purchase the home of issues. It's completely worth it.
So it's really hand on hands, the inspection with the insurance, and then it ties back to the loan, because if you don't get insurance, then you
can't close.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we understand that with all of these inspections, the monetary aspect of it adds up.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
you're making a big investment.
Yes,
Right.
yes, of course. You wanna have peace of mind.
It's well worth it in our opinion.
You don't want surprises.
All right, and then what do you think is the most common issue that you find an inspection, but that should be avoided if sellers take care of it prior to?
I don't know what DeAnna would say. I would personally say moisture intrusion. Just not doing the maintenance, around the house, caulking around windows, maintaining the paint on a house. Even if it's a concrete block house, concrete's a fantastic material, but concrete's porous.
Yes.
The paint protects the concrete. The concrete protects the house. The concrete is the house.
We're in Florida, right?
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. So
exactly.
we see that a lot, especially with gutters, gutter downspouts. Not getting that water away from the house. Who walks around their house looking at their ceilings for any kind of small moisture stains?
Yeah.
Nobody does.
does. Yeah.
So, these little roof leaks that could have been either caught early or, completely avoided, they have a tendency of going too long without being noticed. So, again, going back to the maintenance aspect of it, having a roofer go up there every, I don't know, depending on the type of roof, let's say a shingle roof, every 4 or 5 years, have a roofer go check it out. It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah. So
Just
you are preventing a major issue.
Exactly.
Yeah, most of the issues that we find are avoidable.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll be right back with Jean and DeAnna Tillis.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal Coastal Living, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Bollywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a huge fall sale with lots of great markdowns and discounts on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories half price. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of brand name closeout and sale items. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine.
And we're back. Jean and DeAnna Tillis is with us from Paragon Home Inspections, and we're going over the inspection when you're buying a home. And so what other type of inspections are required down here? I know we had the septic. What about the well water? So
well water, the only time it's really required, to my knowledge, and DeAnna, correct me if I'm wrong, is if it's a VA loan.
It's FHA.
Or FHA.
FHA.
Okay.
If your potable water is supplied by a private well, then you are required by FHA to go ahead and get it tested for bacteria. Not necessarily. A lot of people, they think when they're testing well water that it has to do with the hardness or how much iron. Yeah. But what you really want to be concerned with is if there's any
drinking that water.
Exactly. Any bacteria.
Where does it get tested?
At the health department here in Indian River County.
Oh, okay.
And so we go ahead and collect a sample, and then we take it over there. They test it. It takes 24 hours to incubate, and then they give us the results as far as what kind of coliforms are found and if it's positive or negative for them. So.
All right. And did you encourage the buyers to attend the inspection?
I do.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
we do.
Most of our buyers are just fantastic. Well, they're all fantastic, but most of our buyers are fantastic in the respect they show up, at the beginning of the inspection and they allow us to do our job. Some buyers, it's time to bring the family. It just kind of makes it difficult.
They bring Uncle Joe. There was a contractor 30 years ago.
So we absolutely prefer our clients to be at the inspection. It's nice to walk around and to visually be able to point out things.
Right.
Sometimes it's just a little easier than doing it on the phone.
Yeah, and it also sometimes, as you're walking with them, it'll spawn questions for them to ask. Okay. And then that way you can help them as well. We talk with them about tips and tricks on maintenance, things like that, ways to prevent the stuff that we see.
That's one of the things we really enjoy doing is to give advice on what to do for some of these deficiencies that we find, because some things can sound scary.
Yes.
If we just send a report and just leave it to the client to read the report,
Yeah, especially that
right.
here, almost every house is sold as is.
Right.
I would say 99%, right?
Yep.
And so, sometimes they see all this small stuff and they think,
Right.
their house is a no, but it's really not that bad. It's some of
Right.
them are cosmetic stuff that you have to report,
Right.
or some of them are, from what I understand, is stuff that needs to be taken care of, but is not something that is going to prevent them from obtaining an insurance
Exactly.
or
Right.
obtaining the loan, right?
Exactly.
Perfect example. One of our inspections yesterday, it was a house that needed some TLC. We had a pretty decent list of things, nothing serious. But if we were just to send that blindly and the client read it, they could.
And this is where the next question comes in, the report. I know I have used you in my transaction, so I know that you are so kind to go over what you have found in some detail at the time of inspection if the buyer is present. Yep. But once they receive it, again, the overwhelm is the overwhelming feeling is it's hard for them to process exactly what all this stuff means. And, from our perspective, from the real estate perspective as well, we're there with you. You go over and then we also, after you give us the report, we go over and we discuss and we'll bring stuff to their attention that is really needs it need to be taken care of.
Right.
But can you explain a little bit more of the report and,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So the report is extremely comprehensive. It goes into a lot more detail than just our findings. It's talking about things like what direction your house faces, the type of distribution and drain line plumbing you have. I mean, it lets you know everything that you possibly know about the house, what kind of flooring you have. It gives you tips and tricks on maintenance in our report so that you can refer back to it, hold on to it, and look back through it. And then we do,
so that you can see what we see.
Yeah, and we, even if our clients can't be at our inspection, we always call them after the inspection to go over some of the highlights. Because like you said, there can be things that sound scary but aren't necessarily.
Yes.
And so I want to make sure that we have a good dialogue and I can answer their questions. And it's very important as a home buyer, never be afraid to call your inspector after you've gotten that report too. There's times I may not go over what I believe to be something minor, but then when they get the report, they see it and they go, oh, wait a minute, you didn't talk about this. What is this?
Yeah, and then also, the wording used sometimes is not, is common for you, but it's not common for the normal buyers,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, shifting a little bit, we have been talking about buyers, but, I think that sellers should benefit from having a home inspection prior to listing. So,
yeah.
Would you go about that with me?
So when it comes to pre-listing inspections, we definitely recommend it. A lot of times, even the most type A personality people that are right on top of their maintenance, may not go the places that a home inspector goes. I mean, who's traversing their entire attic space, to check things out? Yeah, it's not typical.
Yeah.
And so a pre-listing inspection gives a home buyer a good snapshot of exactly what their home is. The little things, there might be a few little things that they need to address. There may be a major thing they didn't even know they had.
And that, I think that from the seller's perspective, they're saving time and hustle after the house has been listed, because if they know beforehand, they take care of it, and that transaction can go smoothly and paid off, right?
Yeah,
right, exactly. And not just pre-listings, but new construction.
Oh yeah,
completely remodeled, renovated homes. We do a lot of those, and most of the time they're fantastic.
It's funny that you mentioned new construction, because it's true. A lot a lot of people think, it's a new construction. What do I need inspection for? But it is really
we have some stories.
We do. We've got some pictures. With new construction inspections, especially, the way that we handle it is we're doing the regular full home inspection, but then on top of that, with the permission of the contractor, we also go ahead and use blue tape and point out cosmetic issues. Because the truth is, you're not going to buy a brand new car with a bunch of scratches. And so you want to make sure that your brand new home, it isn't missing areas of trim or, caulking, things like that.
And that's something we wouldn't do at a normal home inspection. No. But again, it's a brand new house. You don't want scratches.
Yeah. Of course, you're paying for that, right?
Right.
So what are the red flags that you think that buyers should be aware of?
New paint. Brand new paint inside of a house, especially if everything's the same color. Flat white paint on the floor, the trim, the walls, those
where they
ceilings.
Just went through and blasted it.
New paint's always kind of an eye raiser. You're looking a little bit harder. Okay, was there something trying to be hidden here? What else, DeAnna? A new caulking, maybe?
Use your nose when you're going through the house. Smells can certainly give you an indication. If you get earthy smells, that can be an indication of maybe some moisture intrusion, things like that.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, Kat. Smells, hearing.
Yeah,
all
just
that is
listen.
very important. So we can't tell you how many things we've found just by listening. So when that client and their entire family shows up, it makes it a little more difficult, to get that.
We were at a home one time. I had movement in the meter because we do a video of the water meter when we know all the water's off in the home.
Okay.
And we couldn't. I was getting movement, like we were using water somewhere, but we couldn't figure out where it was. So we just got real quiet and we started listening, and we could hear water running behind a wall in a shower. That you could just hear it.
Yeah.
But it's it's one of those things.
It's not visible.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely.
Again, you guys are like the X-ray in the house, right?
Well, when you've done several thousand of them, it just kind of comes.
You get to know the suspect areas. The areas to look that there might be some issues, things like that. But it's just so important to really invest in your inspections for your home. I know, like, for instance, with wood destroying organism inspection, termite inspections, a lot of people will say, well, it's a concrete block home, I'm not worried about it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
There's a lot of wood in your concrete block home. Yeah. And honestly, where we see a lot of termites is after a renovation. Sometimes they'll come in with the brand new cabinetry.
Oh, yeah.
Or secondhand furniture. Yeah. I know furniture's expensive. But when it comes to Facebook Marketplace furniture, you might be buying more than you bargained for.
All right. And with that, we are going to wrap today's show. And how can they contact you?
Well, you know what? We have a website that I believe you're going to have posted as well. And then our phone numbers are right on the website. So by all means, give us a call if you have any questions. We're certainly always happy to help people with their home buying journey.
All right. Thank you so much. Again, I can't stress out how important each of these inspections help you better understand the home's condition, potential risk, future costs associated with repairs and insurance. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast, The Hidden Truth of Home Inspections. And remember, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. Stay connected with me. I always post new content and updates. I'll catch up with you next time. And with Wherever with Lou Navarro. And recuerda, yo hablo tu idioma. Chao, chao.